Hello, lovelies. Welcome to Narc Free Formula. My name's Freedom. Thank you for joining me this evening. Tonight's episode is about narcissists and kissing. Anyone who's been involved with a narcissist knows exactly what I'm talking about. So before I get into this episode, can I just remind you, if you like my videos, please remember to like them and subscribe to the channel. And if you've got anything to say, leave it in the comments. All right, so before I start this, I also just want to say, like any of these kind of videos that I do around, sex or, adult relationships, two things. One, I may swear, and two, I don't want to edit myself to make you guys feel comfortable because it's kind of awkward enough as it is for me to talk about this stuff, without worrying about, how it's going to be perceived. So we're all adults. We all have sex and we all kiss. So, with that said, I'm going to get into it. So, narcissists are very aware of how powerful the act of kissing is. They are aware of it, not because it's powerful to them, but because they see it reflected back to them, in movies and subculture. It's all around us. What is kind of expected, I suppose, in romantic settings from, lovers. So they know what we expect. And I'm going to just discuss 5 different ways that kissing was used in my particular situationship. And I'm sure each and every one of these can be reflected in your own situationship. Because, as we'll always know, narcissists, they're creatures of habit. This is part of their disorder. Mine does it, yours does it, it's just what they do. All right, so these are the 5 memories that I have of kissing. And, and just for the record, I was in a situationship for 14 years, so it was a long time. So in our first couple of weeks that we were together, I was kind of holding out, from having sex or whatever. And we would literally spend hours and hours kissing, just like teenagers, even though at that time, he and I were both in our 30s. And what I didn't know then, but I do know now, is that he was mirroring me and what my love language was. So because I wouldn't sleep with him, he had to kind of get me on the hook another way, and so he was kind of putting it all into the kissing. And so we, like I said, we literally spent the first couple of weeks just kissing all the time for hours at a time. And I thought it was really intimate, and I thought it was really sweet. That he wasn't trying to pressure me, that he was waiting for me to be ready, but as I said, little did I know that was just part of the mirroring, where they basically act like you. So you go, oh, wow, I really like this person. They seem really nice, because most of us like ourselves, to a certain extent, at least. Anyhow, so that was the first stage. So kisses are used in the love bombing stage quite a lot. So I thought this man loved kissing the way I love kissing, because I love kissing, and I thought that he did too. And I thought, yay, I've hit the jackpot here. I love this, this man is into kissing. It's fantastic. But what happened then was, as we slowly moved into the devaluation phase, so after the idolization finishes, he starts to kind of withhold some of the kissing. Oh no, hang on, sorry, back up. We didn't get to the devaluation stage that quickly. Sorry, back right on up. Okay. So in the beginning, one of the memories that I have was of him saying to me that he loved kissing me, unlike his ex. Now, at the time, I didn't really think much of it, but looking back, like, huge red flag, talking about the ex while he's kissing me, comparing me to the ex, triangulating me with the ex, setting up that, that competitiveness already, like in the first couple of weeks. you know. So when you think about that kind of thing, you know, like I said, in hindsight, that just shows how aware they are of the power, you know, of kissing and of intimacy. All right, so when we got married, sorry, and just quickly, I'm just going to go through these kind of 5 memories, and then I'm going to go through in each and every one. Actually, no, I won't. Actually, I'll do them one at a time. All right. So, yeah. So the first is the kissing for love bombing. So, and triangulating with X and mirroring. So the second one is where it's like this kind of kissing for consummation kind of thing. Like they consume you. Like I remember when we got married, and the not what are they called? Celebrant said, you know, you may kiss the bride. I remember he gave me this huge kiss, and his dad commented. He said, kiss her, mate, not eat her. And in hindsight, once again, you know, that's really interesting that he made such a big gesture at our wedding in front of children. Like there were children at this wedding, to give me this huge, passionate kind of kiss. Like I said, this consuming me kiss. But now I understand more what that's about. You know, this is about, you know, putting on an act. It's a performance as well, because there are obviously other people there, including, may I add, that a celebrant who'd been coming and doing some like pre-wedding kind of counselling with us. And in hindsight now, a narcissist would have hated that, having a man in our house talking about intimate stuff. Of course, he wanted to put on a big act. So I would never forget that, and no one there would have forgotten that. The other kind of kissing, this is a similar thing. So this is intimate, and if you're embarrassed about this kind of stuff, you know, switch off now. But one of the things was when we were having sex, and I would be orgasming, he would kiss me and kind of consume the energy of me breathing out, and that whole I don't know, you know, there's that kind of chi, life force, they call it, you know, prana. There's a whole lot of different things that they call that, you know, that energy, that kind of, you know, yeah, sexual energy. It's so potent. And he literally would kind of consume it. And that's the only word that I could think of to describe what it is like in hindsight. It's like, you know, it reminds me of, like, you know, movies where you see, you know, I don't know, vampire, demons, ghouls, whatever, leaning over their victims and then sucking their souls out of their mouth. Kind of reminds me of that, except at the time, I just thought it was a really intimate and passionate thing. Once again, hindsight's a bitch. But yes, so narcissists use kissing and intimacy as a way to kind of dominate, to get fuel from you, you know, literally breathing me in. And then we get to the next stage. So then the devaluation starts. So then now what's happening is he doesn't really like kissing so much anymore. You know, kind of withholds the kissing. And for the last year of our relationship, of our situationship, you know, he had an excuse every single time. You know, oh, I've got a toothache. You know, oh, I haven't brushed my teeth. You know, I've got smoker's breath. Like all the things that never ever bothered him before, all of a sudden they were an issue. And as I said, when I was in the situation, I had no idea, and I was so confused. I felt so rejected because I started thinking there's something wrong with me. Like, why doesn't he want to be intimate with me? Because, you know, kissing is an intimate thing. I know that, but I didn't know he was a narcissist. So yes, they withhold kissing. They do it on purpose because they get a kick out of it. So when they're at the devaluation stage, you know, they're not getting as much, so you're not fresh and new to them. You're not so potent anymore. So now they're getting energy from you, you know, from your sadness and your confusion. And, you know, when they're withholding affection, and you're literally sobbing in the bedroom, you know, or they can just feel it, like, or you're, you know, asking them and you're pleading and begging and asking why and what have I done and what's going on. They love this stuff. pure fuel. It's drama, it's it's excitement, someone wanting them so badly that they're hurting, and it makes them feel really, really powerful. So, as I said, hindsight again, if I'd known any of the stuff that I know now, it would have made such a difference to my understanding of what was going on. But I didn't know, just like a lot of you don't know. But this is the reality. These blokes don't care about kissing. They don't care about intimacy. They care about power, control, manipulation, and fuel. All right. And the final memory that I have of kissing, it's kind of funny that like over such a long time, these are the kind of only 5 memories that really stand out of kissing. Like I don't remember our first kiss. I only remember our first, wedding kiss because it was someone commented on it. But anyhow, so towards the end of our situationship, in that final year, I think he sensed that I was about to make my move, and I think he also had a new supply that he had lined up, but it wasn't working with, and so he had organised to take me out to a hotel room, for a reconnect, to spend a weekend together without the kids, just the 2 of us in this hotel. And at the time, this is when he was withholding the kisses. Anyhow, so as I said, he must have sensed that I was making my move, that I was going to make my move. Because that weekend there was so much intimacy, there was so much passion and urgency, and he started the kissing up again. Like, midway through, he just kind of sprung it on me, like the start of this huge, passionate, big consuming kisses, like literally eating my very soul. And it felt like he was claiming me, like, re-owning me, like claiming me as his own, kind of, as you would imagine, like animals do when they scent mark things. That's kind of what it felt like. Even at the time, I felt like it was a strange thing to go from no kisses at all to these huge kisses, just crazy, like almost like big slobbery drunk kisses, even though he wasn't drunk, but like almost like that kind of thing. So the point here is, once again, so narcissists use kissing and intimacy to manipulate. So he knew that on some level that I was thinking about leaving, whether it was because he was spying on me, on my social media or on my phone or whatever, or whether he was just sensing it. But the fact is, something happened where he thought he should pull out the big guns again, bring back the kisses, which he did, and it didn't work. Hello, free spirit. Hello, darling. So you also felt your energy being sucked out. Yeah, it's quite sinister when you think about it. Like I said, at the time, I just kind of thought, it was actually really sexy. That's what I thought at the time, but I didn't know what I was dealing with. Now that I know what's going on, it's a totally different thing. Anyhow, so one second, I'll just quickly go through my notes. So yeah, they use kisses for love bombing, triangulating, kisses for fuel. So just remember that they get a lot of fuel, from seeing you swoon, from seeing, the effect that it has on you. Oh my God, I just thought of another thing. Okay, here's a memory that I forgot about until just then. I remember kissing him and opening my eyes, because I was someone who used to always close my eyes because I kind of just liked being in that space, of kissing, kind of being taken away to a different world. And I remember once opening my eyes and he was watching me, and really intently. And I remember he freaked out and closed his eyes. And that in itself was really, really interesting. I'm not sure if it's because, he was really enjoying watching, or if it was because he felt scared or something, because I looked at him, and I could see him in that kind of intimacy. I don't know, but what I do know is narcs do not do intimacy at all. They do fake intimacy. They do, they put on a good act. They put on a good performance. They do what they imagine people want them to do. Like I said, they will mirror your love style. So if you like kissing, they will mirror that back to you in the beginning. But when they're ready to devalue you, I can guarantee you that kissing will be one of the things that they put on and pull off the table. I mean, I've heard of women who've literally, had years with these blokes, years of no kissing, no intimacy, no sex. I mean, fuck that. Seriously. After a year of almost a year of kind of no kissing, I mean, we were still having sex and being intimate in other ways, but there was always, like I said, always an excuse, always a way to kind of avoid it, turn the cheek, just that kind of thing, enough to, like, they never want to talk about it. They never actually want to say what's going on because they don't want you to know what's going on. They just want you to give them fuel. They want you to suffer and give them fuel. And withholding kisses gives them power. It's like that whole, I've got a secret you don't know. Guess what my secret is? And if you get lucky, I might kiss you again. But, you can just spend the next 3 months, 6 months, whatever, trying to figure out what the fuck my problem is. Life's too short, darlings. Seriously, life is too short. If you're with a narcissist, it's time to get yourself narc-free. And for those of you who've gotten narc-free, good on you, darlings. Make sure you stay narc-free. All right, lovelies, thank you for watching. And I'll see you not tomorrow, but the day after. Thanks. Bye-bye. And take two. Bye.